What's up, nutrition nerds, and welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be talking about calorie counting. Have you counted your calories? Have you gone to have some food and thought, should I be eating this? How many calories are in it? We're going to go over the good, the bad, and the ugly of calorie counting, and I'll give you my professional opinion on it. What I say will be applicable to any goal, so whether that's weight loss, weight gain, muscle gain, or athletic performance, the principles are all the same. So let's get stuck in. So welcome back to Nutrition Triathlon and to another video. Calorie counting. It's a tricky one. Some people love it and some people hate it. Before we get going, I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts on it, and I'd love to generate some healthy discussion on this topic. So if you'd like to get involved in this, let me know in the comments whether this is something you currently do, have done, or whether you've got any thoughts on it. Alright, so where to start with this? I thought about what angle to come at this topic at, and decided I would give you a statement, and you'll see why as we go through this video. Have a good relationship with your food. For me, this kind of encompasses the most important parts of the topic. And if there's one thing that you take away from this video, it's to have a good relationship with your food. Food is incredible. It's so diverse. There are so many flavors, smells, tastes, textures. And it's something that you can enjoy on your own or in a social situation with friends. Sure, some meals are because we've just got to eat, but on the whole, it's awesome. But I think that unless we're careful, calorie counting moves us to a place where we forget this and where we don't actually have a good relationship with our food. As you may or may not know, I work in general practice or family medicine, and a large proportion of my consultations revolve around mental health. And I think that mental health for the average person is probably the biggest thing to be aware of and understand when it comes to calorie counting. So let's just bring it back for a moment and ask ourselves, what's the point of calorie counting? The answer for most people will be something along the lines of to help lose weight, to help gain weight, or to help get a certain amount of something like protein into your diet. And actually, that's pretty reasonable. But what does calorie counting actually do? It gives us something tangible, a numerical value to what we're eating. But the reason I'm not a big fan is that for most people, it doesn't actually mean anything. And it's not something that's sustainable. It's time consuming, it can actually be quite hard to do, and it's not very fun. But I think the biggest thing is that if you're doing it regularly, it becomes all consuming. And you start thinking, is this food good to eat? Is this food bad to eat? And then you might not want to eat out because your food contains too many calories or maybe not enough. And that's not having a good relationship with your food. Now, it can be a little more nuanced than this, but the mechanism behind weight gain or weight loss is actually pretty simple. If you consume more calories than you need, you gain weight. If you use up more calories than you consume, you lose weight. And if you're consuming neither too few or too many, your weight stays the same. And the truth is that calorie counting doesn't tell you everything. Some foods might be higher or lower in calories than you realize, or you've been more or less active in the day, so you're not really sure where you're at. Added into that, weight shouldn't be thought of as something that will just change overnight, at least not sustainably anyway. It's a process over weeks and months. If you're putting on weight over time, then you're consuming more calories than you're using. If you're losing weight, then you're using up more calories than you consume. And do you need to count calories to know this? No. And would you be able to enjoy your food truly if you took a step back from the numbers and savoured the flavours and the taste of the food on your plate? I would expect that for a large majority of you, the answer is yes. I'm going to do some videos on weight loss in the future for you, but for now I just want you to think about those basic principles. Try and filter out all of the noise that's out there and hone in on the basics. Understand them and build from the bottom with solid foundations. And that's what I want this channel to be about. I want to break these things down for you and make them easy to understand but useful. If you are finding this useful, by the way, I'd really appreciate it if you gave the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. So after saying all of that, I think there are a few scenarios where calorie counting might be useful, and let's run through them. We know when it comes to injury, the most important time are the first few days and the first few weeks. The ability to recover quicker and, importantly, maintain muscle mass is heavily influenced by nutrition. It's common after injury to not eat as much as you would have before. That might be through choice because you're inactive, you're upset, or another reason. But overall calorie intake and protein intake drops. But actually, it's so important to maintain your calorie and your protein intake. And so calorie counting during the first stages of injury is something I see merit to, making sure that you are having enough calories and protein to support your recovery. I think this scenario is a reasonable one as well. If you're at the beginning of a weight loss journey, or you've been trying for some time and you can't get the scales to budge, it can be helpful to know a little bit more about the food and the portions that you're having. Sometimes you can have some eye-opening moments just by weighing the food that you regularly eat or the portions that you have. And it's just a once-off. It helps you to plan a little bit better and get back to it. And an example might be something like nuts. They say a handful of nuts, but really what is that, and how many nuts are in your handful versus someone else's? Something like this might be the difference of 200 calories. And if you think that that same principle might happen a couple of times a day, you can quickly see where some sneaky calories might be coming in. And again, I stress this isn't something that you want or should do all the time, but it might just be that little bit of help that you need to get things back on track. Now this is a bit of a catch-all, but you'll see that those previous two examples both fall into this category. If you have a specific short-term goal with calorie counting, it's much more likely there's a genuine purpose to it, rather than just, I count my calories because I count them. If this is the case, make sure that you set a reason why and for how long you're going to calorie count for. Because actually, if it ends up being a long-term thing, then you've got to ask yourself whether it's really necessary. It's likely that you're better off forgetting the numbers, eating a varied, balanced and healthy diet, and seeing what your weight is doing over the long term. Aim to get your day-to-day diet in good order, and forget about the calories of every snack. Go out and enjoy a meal with your friends, or a beer and a catch-up. It builds better habits with your food and builds that good relationship with it. And importantly, it's sustainable. So that's probably enough from me, as I've talked at you for a while now. But as you can probably tell, this is something which I think is super important. I've actually joined forces with the guys over at hurrythefoodup.com, and we've written a book on vegetarian weight loss, which is out next month. And we've devoted a whole chapter to the mental health side of weight loss. I don't think it gets enough discussion, and I would love for people to feel empowered to be able to talk about it and build that good relationship with food that I mentioned. So I really hope that you've enjoyed this video and that you found it useful. If you haven't already, let me know in the comments what you think about calorie counting and whether anything that I've said resonates with you. And I'll catch you next time. See ya.